Good day, everyone. Today, I will going to report some parts of the chapter 8, which is entitled Organizational Leadership. So, in this chapter, we have 5 learning outcomes. Number 1, explain what organizational leadership is. 2, distinguish between leadership and management. 3, describe different organizational leadership styles. 4, explain what situational leadership servants are. And 5, discuss how to sustain change in an organization. So we will now go on to organizational leadership. The first meaning of organizational leadership. In an organizational leadership, leader helps set strategic goals for the organization while motivating individuals within the organization to successfully carry out assignments in order to realize those goals. Being a leader in organizations, creating strategic goals is very important. You're not just creating goals right away. You have to make strategies in achieving those goals, because in an organization it is very important that you are on the procedural manner of making those goals achieved. Because if you're going to uh, if you're going to just put it right away and you wanted to just achieve that goal without proper procedures or plan for you to achieve that, it will possibly have some negative implications, or it may result in negative results because you are not in the process of doing to achieve those goals. Because I believe that creating your goals to achieve in achieving your goals, it is very important to take it in a step by step procedures for you to have an idea for the previous steps of what will you do next, because it will give you some idea and other idea for you to improve what the next step will be, to for you to come up or for you to easily get that goal that you wanted to achieve. And in making that goal, and I know that you will assign it to your followers as a leader of an organizations, and in assigning that in your followers, you have also to give motivations to the members of your organizations, because it will help them to um, have courage in doing those tasks or assignments that you assign to them to make them realize those goals. Because if you give them encouragement or give them some tips or advice or different techniques in achieving those goals, they will visualize what that kind of goal is, and they will picture it out in themselves, and they can they can make it in a better way because they have an idea, because you help them as a leader of an organization. Next meaning is organization works towards what is best for individual members and what is best for the organization as a group at the same time. Organizational leadership does not sacrifice the individual members for the sake of the people, nor sacrifice the welfare of the group for the sake of individual members. Both individual and group are necessary. So, being a leader of an organization, you will always look for the best for your organizations, because all of the members of your organization will look upon to you, and you are the brain of the organization, and you must always uh, put on pressure on a good way for you to be able to be productive and do better as a leader of an organizations. And being a leader of an organizations, you have to be fair for every members of an organization from the bottom up to the top, because making being fair as a leader of an organizations will give you a high trust rating from the members of an organizations. Because if you are fair to each and every one of the members of the organizations, they will look upon to you, and they will give you respect for being a trustworthy person or a trustworthy leader of your organization. Next meaning is organizational leadership is also an attitude and a work ethic that empowers an individual in any role to lead from the top, middle, or bottom of our organization. Applied to the school setting, the school leader helps anyone from the organization, not necessarily from the top, to lead others. An example of this leadership, which does not necessarily come from top of the organization, is teacher leadership. So, being a leader of an organization is also an attitude and a work ethic, because as a leader of an organization, you should be engaged with each and every members of your organizations from the bottom up to the top. And it also shows that you're unethical, because you consider every members of the organizations without having or without taking sides, especially from the higher ups of organizations. You should also pay attentions from the members who are on the bottom, because they are also important, because they play a particular role for the betterment of the organization. So you must be considerate and be ethical when it comes to engaging with the members of the organization as a leader of your organization. So in school setting, leader helps anyone from the organization, not necessarily from the top. This is very evident. So it is very evident in the school. For example, it is teacher leadership. So a teacher leadership, being the teacher engaging with his or her students by they empower their students by making giving motivations on them. For example, and giving the lessons. If a particular student suffers difficulty about a lesson, the teacher will help his students to be able to catch up with his with his classmates, to for him or her to not be left behind. Because as a teacher, it is important to acknowledge those instances or situations, because we have the you have to deal with different variety of learners, and some may be in a slow pace, and others will be in a fast pace when it comes to absorbing informations within your lesson. So as a teacher, you must be ready on engaging with your students who are not in a better way of absorbing information. When it comes to discussing your lessons, you should help them address that as a teacher, because you are the only key that they need for them to understand and be able to catch up with their fellow classmates. So we are now in a leadership versus management. So as you can see, there is table about the comparison of manager and leader. So in a manager, so managers, they are the administrators. So their process is transactional, meet objectives, and delegate tasks. So being a manager, it is more on just assigning tasks on your team. You're just assigning tasks on your team for doing those things that you need to be accomplished. So for example, in a business industry, as a manager of a particular firm or company, you're just going to you have the members within your team, so you're just going to have assigned the task that you're going to do to achieve your goals. And as a manager, you will be the delegates or the representative when it comes to business meetings, because as a manager, you are well knowledgeable and well experienced when it comes to business meetings, and you don't have to make it you will not going to assign it to your who are in the lower positions than you, because you're more knowledgeable and skill and well experienced in that kind of field. So in its counterpart on leaders are innovative. Their process is transformational. Develop a vision and find a way forward. So being a leader naman is innovative. They are innovative because as a leader, you have a vision for your organizations, and your long term vision for long-term goals for your organization. So they look they are more focused on the totality or the overall performance of their organizations, and not just on a daily basis in their organizations, but that particular that in the daily basis, it is part of the whole process of a vision of a leader in an organization. So next is being a manager is work focus. The goal is to get things done. They are skilled at allocating work. So being a manager, it is more on focus, just like what I said earlier. Being a manager, it is more focused on a daily basis or the daily task that needs to be done, and and it has a lot of and being a manager, uh, you are expected to have skilled in allocating work in different um, of allocating work. You as a manager, you are expected to be experience in handling different kinds of works that the higher ups will assign to you as a manager, because in allocating those works, it will the time management is very important, because as a manager you will budget the time on, because the different tasks has also deadlines to be meet. So being a manager, you should be always having a better time management for you to achieve those outcomes that are expected to you as a manager for the assigned task on you. So in Leaders Demand, people focus. The goals include both people and results. They care about you and what you to succeed. So in leaders, so being a leader, you are or also focused on not just about the results of the given of the tasks that you're given to your followers, but you're also um, concerned about on your people, because as a leader, you will not come up with the outcome if you're not if if it if it not the, if it's not by means of the people of or the follower of your organization. So you're considering your people by giving them motivations or techniques in achieving those outcomes that are expected for your assignments to them, for your tasks that you've assigned to them. And in managers meanwhile in managers, it is mostly focused on the managers just assign task on his members in a team without giving proper guidelines on what to do, on what to expect on that particular assignments. The managers just give those assignments or tasks to its members, and not just giving briefing about the task. While being a leader naman, you make motivations for your members by giving techniques, um, what they will expect from the particular assignments or tasks that you're assigned to them. Next one is managers have subordinates. They create circles of power leased by authority. So in managers naman, they create circles of power leased by authority, because being a manager, so in managers, they create circles of power leased by authority. So being a manager, you have the authority to create your circles that you want, or set of persons that you want. For example, you as a manager, you have the authority to pick the members that you wanted, because you are the manager. Have the authority to pick members that you wanted, because you became in high positions than before. So you have the chance to uh, to get the the members that you wanted to take in your team. So while in leaders have followers, they create circles of influence, and indeed inspiring. So as a leader, they also create influence, but then it is not particularly in members of choosing members, because in being a leader you are you're comprises with a lot of members, and you are not in a position or to choose because you so as a leader, you create influence with your followers, because you by creating your decisions, it influences them, because it reflects on how you views it reflects on how you you views about their um, particular decisions. Your decisions, your actions will reflect on how your members will see you. So, in being a leader, you will create influence, and it will make them inspired or not, because of your decisions. Because I think it will make them inspired if you create, as a leader, if you create rational or reasonable decisions or judgments in a particular situation. It will make them inspired that you choose them, or you choose the betterment results, the betterment for the betterment the of the majority. So it will make it. I think it will be an inspiring one for you as a leader, because as a member, they will see you as a very uh, rational kind of leader that will think of the majority, other that will think of the majority to sacrifice even uh, an important also but an important one because of the majority. So next one is managers do things right. Managers enact the existing culture and maintain status quo. So being in a being a manager, it is just repeated repeated culture. For example, in a company, I think if you are being a manager, you just have to change the way the rule in a in your team in your team, because as a manager you have your own views on how to deal with things. So you will just change the existing to a new one, to a new culture, and just maintain the status quo, maintaining the uh, the making the status that just being on the line of the main goal. For example, in an industry, as a manager, you change. If you are being promoted to a manager, you will change the existing culture, because you are now the manager. You will set the guidelines and the rules in your team, and maintain the status quo. And also you will maintain how the your company, or how it will be. Yeah, your vision is the same. It is aligned to the visions of the whole company. You're just changing the existing culture, because you're now on the ruling. You're now on the you have now the authority to change some rules and regulations within your team as a manager. So in leaders naman, do the right thing. Leaders shape the culture and drive integrity. So being a leader, it shapes the culture and drive integrity. You're shaping the culture in terms of by means of your decisions. You're shaping the culture by means of giving yeah, by means of your decisions, because by means of, if you are making, as a leader, if you are making reasonable decisions, um your followers will think that that leader, our leader, make that kind of decisions, because it will result to this that will be more benefit in our organization. So in you're not totally changing the culture, but you're shaping it. You're just totally not totally changing it, but you're just kind of renovating the culture. You're just changing something that you could see that it has a flaw, and you're not totally changes it. You just also, you as a leader, you just stick to the foundation of the culture, to what is the original culture is. What you just changing something or a little bit of the culture that you see that needs improvement, and you as a leader, you drive integrity, or you become as a leader in shaping the culture. You always have that, you always put the integrity, or you're protecting what's in the organizations, and you're not sacrificing it for anything, because as a leader, the members of the organization and the whole organizations are is the very important one. So we have the types of skill demanded of leaders. Number one is technical, two human, three conceptual. Number one is technical. Technical skills refers to any type of process or technique, like sending email, preparing a PowerPoint presentation. Being a leader, you should have the technical skills. So at this era, being a leader, you should, or you must have the technical skills, because we have different kinds of technologies when it comes to transactions or creating something. It is mostly empowered by technology. So as a leader, you should be technical, or you have the technical skills, because it will help you a lot in terms of communicating with your members of an organization, um, um, with your partnerships with other organizations. It will help you a lot, because it will, as a by means of technology, it will help your communication easier and go smoothly, because we just have one click right away to send our informations to anyone we want to. And being a techie kind of leader is very beneficial to your organization, and it will make the transactions and changing of communications easier. Next one is human. Human skill is the ability to work effectively with people and to build teamwork. This is also referred to as people skills or soft skills. So as a leader, you should not just on your chair sitting and just commanding your followers or your members to do the assigned task you wanted to. As a leader, you should come out on your chair, come out of your office to engage with the members of an organizations from the bottom up to the top. You should engage with them to 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 for you to be seen as a approachable leader, where they can express their thoughts and make you make them feel that they comfortable within their leader, and they have the right to voice out what they wanted to, what they could express. So it will help also the members of the organization to be productive, because you as a leader, you help them, or you make time to to give for them to give their ideas and share their knowledge about what they can do for their organizations, what they can help for their organizations to improve, to have better outcomes in the future. Next one is conceptual. Conceptual skill is the ability to think in terms of models, frameworks, broad relationships such as long-range plans. In short, conceptual skills deals with ideas, while skill concerns relationship with people, and technical skills involves psychomotor skills and thinking. So as a leader, you must have the conceptual skills for you to create an effective plan for the organizations. Creating effective plan for organizations will benefit each of the member and the total and totally the whole organizations. Creating plans or visualizing, having a vision for your organizations is very important, because it will have you the long term goal for your organizations. For not, it will help you. your organization will avoid being stuck upon onto something if you have vision, because as you have vision, you are continuing and still improving what you're doing day by day. Having a vision in our organizations is very important because it will make your organization improve and improve and improve to come up with that particular goal that you wanted to achieve. So it is also said that being skill concerned is very important as a leader, or skill concerns or having relationship with people, like what I said earlier. Being a leader, you're not just have to assign task on your members. You have to engage with them from the bottom up to the top, by in which will help you to and which will help them to express their ideas for their organizations, and helps you to create ideas, to conceptualize or to make plans for your organizations. And technical skills involve psychomotor skills and things. So technical skills involves it will help you to create ideas on creating plans for your organizations that will be a help in creating your long-term vision for your organization. So this is the end of my report. I hope you learned something from the parts the report from the chapter 8, which is entitled Organizational Leadership. So thank you for listening. I hope you learned something.